Enjoy spring. And guess what? Spring is 1 week away, believe it or not. All right, so I have horrible guilt. I normally don't feel too guilty about my husband. But this case, I really do. What happened was we moved into a really, really small space, and I made the mistake. I got rid of my air purifiers because in this very small space, I'm not kidding, we live in under 700 square feet, believe it or not. We have an air conditioning heating unit that has a vent that has a big filtration system. And I thought, I don't need my air purifier anymore. This is a little space. This is going to do the trick. Not only did we have a horrendous amount of dust, but my husband, and very allergic to stuff, especially pollen, he had a horrible spring last year. Terrible headaches, the whole thing. And I thought, daggone it, I bet you it's because we don't have an air purifier. So I went and I bought one from HSN. It's a beautiful air purifier, but here's the problem. Every 6 months, I've got to change the filter. Now, I love it, but boy, it gets costly having to do that. We have tonight from LivePure an air purifier that's designed to take on even the toughest tasks, to be incredibly efficient, and guess what? You never have to change the HEPA filter. It's awesome. It's completely reusable. Now, we have 4 different colors, but here's the update. We have white, we have black. The other color is going to be granite, and this is going to be taupe. If you want the taupe, by far, that has been the most popular today. We're down to the final 200. It will probably sell out before this evening is done and our big spring finale event is over. So with 4 colors to go, just remember that about the taupe. Vonabelle's going to join me and really kind of get into this for all of us. But Vonabelle, honest to goodness, true story, I really felt horrible for my husband because I just didn't, I thought the home system would work, and it clearly did not work.
See, you learn by experience, right? That it's really small space or big space, you need an air purifier. And that's what makes this one special, because it doesn't matter if it's your very small space, maybe a room that's 10 by 10, 10 by 12, or medium room or large room or up 1,000 square feet. Now, what's nice about this, aside from that color taupe, by the way, we only have a little left. That taupe is creamy. It's a great neutral. It's really easy on your eyes. I just want to say that in case you were thinking about that. What makes this one different is the fact that this is not a money pit. You're not looking to get a new filter every 3 or 4 months. That can cost a lot of money when the filter is this big. You are simply going to take your upholstery tool that looks like this, and you're going to vacuum it clean. Now, for you, that might be once a month, every other month. If you have pets, it'll be every month, and you'll actually see that pet hair here. So that is a huge money saver, and it might be that the reason you didn't get an air purifier was because we could buy the air purifier, but that ongoing cost just makes me hesitant. Tonight, you get an air purifier. So 2 layers of filtration. Your first is your cocoa carbon. Of the good, better, best, it's the best. It captures the bigger particles. Then underneath is your True HEPA. Now, not HEPA-like or HEPA-ish, but actually the true standard HEPA. So if you have allergies, this is definitely the one you want, because it removes 99.97% of all the particles in the air down to 0.3 microns. Now, 0.3 microns is things you can't see, just what you saw going in. Cocoa carbon, odors, VOC, fur, dust, hair, pollen, great cocoa carbon, and then your True HEPA. Allergens, that's important. Tobacco, smoke, dander, dust, and dust mites. Doesn't that sound gross? Mold, spores, and odors. Now, I never like the mold spores to just go by us without thinking. If you had a leak, if you had a flood anytime this year, maybe you got mold on the walls. Mold spores is what's in the air, and they're really toxic, and they're invisible, so they really can set off allergies. And if you've looked at your car this month, you know it's pollen season. So we've started tree, weed, grass, pollen. Those are terrible irritants. Those are the outdoor ones that can blow in. But then in the house, they say it's worse in the house than outside. EPA says 5 times as toxic. So you'll want an air purifier. And I'll just do one more thing before I give it back to Suzanne. Another thing to look at. You need a sealed gasket. That means it has to be rubberized or foam, no paper. Because if it's not, air bypasses the filter and comes out dirty. And then you're frustrated. But this has a sealed filter, so it captures everything through the 2 layers, Suzanne. And I'm so glad if you're able to get this for your husband, feeling sorry for him, because we'll definitely cover, if you're 1 floor, we'll cover that whole area with just 1 unit.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I'll leave the bedroom door open and this thing's covering my whole place, literally my entire place. Yeah. Okay, taupe, once again, super limited, only a couple hundred left. I will keep you updated on the countdown. Here's why you want to get this tonight. Get in front of pollen season. If you have anybody who suffers from it, and that's just scratching the surface. We're not talking about, and this is great. This is an interesting quote. You ready? The EPA says, on average, Americans spend 90% of their time indoors, okay? 90% of the time. Here, listen to this. Indoors, with the windows closed, some pollutants are often, listen to this part, 2 to 5 times higher than outside pollutants. 2 to 5 times higher inside your home. So what's happening is your body's having to do all the filtration. You know it's not good for you, and it's not good for anybody around you. It's certainly not good for grandkids or pets or anybody like that. This is an incredible unit to be able to buy, and you never have to buy a filter again for it. You're just gonna vacuum it out, and it's good to go year after year with that great LivePure quality. Now, here's the other thing we've got tonight. We have free shipping. It's $90 off the retail price. I also have 3 flex pays, which means you're gonna spread your payments out over 3 months, and we take all major credit cards, so you are good to go. But get in front of this pollen season. Do not suffer. The thing I also noticed, Vonabelle, really quickly was my little teeny place was just so darn dusty. It was kind of really driving me crazy. Now, again, I don't have this unit. I have a unit I like, but every 6 months, I gotta chunk out money to buy new filters, which is really expensive. But what I noticed because of it is, number one, my husband's not suffering like he did last spring, and I'm really happy about that because I felt really guilty because he was miserable last spring. And number two is I have less dust. I mean, considerable less dust because I've got a purifying system in my house.
That is one of the side effects, and it's a good side effect that you will have less dust. When you run your finger along your furniture and you've seen dust, you'll have less of that. That's very nice. Now, I want to show you what a dirty filter will look like. This one, I let one of my boys get dirty for me, and at that time he lived in an apartment complex, and I really think those can be really dirty. Look at what's collected. But Suzanne, the good thing is if it's here, it's not in your nose, it's not in your eyes, it's not in your lungs. This is a good sign. But take a look at the difference and think about what I always say is getting an air purifier is an act of love for your family, because this is not bothering them. You get everything going through here, so you breathe better, you feel better. And many of us are working at home now. Look, I'm in my home right now, and maybe you work from home, and that just makes you want to have the air a little bit better because you're spending all that time at home. And you could have recently gone to the doctor and he said, hey, want you to get an air purifier. And you are like, great, oh, a nice help for me. And then you get home and you go, well, what do I look for? What do I need? That's why I'm here to help you. So look for 2 layers of filtration. You have it. Look not to have that money pit on a filter, which this is, because you just take your upholstery tool and you vacuum this clean. That's all you do for the life of the unit. Now, what is the life of the unit? They say about 12 years, not because it's going to break or anything, but in 12 years, there'll be new technology and it'll be different. Another thing I want to show you is, look at the size of this. It's the full size of the unit. Some companies cheat. You'll open it up and the filter will be half the size. You don't want that, because the bigger the surface, the more allergens and irritants that can be caught on here. And when I say caught, I mean 99.97% of all the particles in the air. Now, if you've ever thought, well, I want an air purifier, which one do I get? You think you have to go measure a room. You don't have to do that with this one. We call this our Big Mac Daddy because it does up to 2,000 square feet. And take a look at this chart. This will help you visually understand when I say down to 0.3 microns. So 80 to 100 microns is just one single strand of hair. And then going down, you see pollen, dust, pet dander, and then smoke. That's the hardest to remove. And that's probably a good segue to the smoke chamber, Suzanne.
Sure, we'll show you that too. As a matter of fact, they say in the U.S. government, because I do my nerdy research, if it doesn't move the air, don't buy it. If it doesn't scrub the air, don't buy it. It's got to do both. Here is a smoke particle. Why do you think this demo is so impressive, Vonabelle?
Because it proves that we move the air. And like you said, if you don't move the air, you can't clean the air. Because if I say this does up, look at that. And wasn't that amazing?
That's fast.
So if I say this does up to 2,000 square feet, which is great for all your open floor plans, by the way. If your kitchen opens to your dining room, opens to your living room, you want this one because it will do that big, big. Look at this diagram. See if there's something that rings true for you in the size, and think about the amount of times that we're going to exchange the air. Now, for instance, if you put this in a 10 by 12 room, we're going to scrub that air clean 22 times in 1 hour.
That's great.
But let's jump up to 550 square feet. Now, that is what AHAM, which is the third-party overseer of all air purifiers, by the way, they always want to know from air purifying companies, 5 times an hour, how many square feet can you do? That's their minimum, that's their foundation. And for that, at 550 square feet, it's 5 times every hour, 120 times a day. And then you take it up to 2,000 square feet, and we will scrub that air 33 times every single day for you. So that's the great open floor plan. Yeah, isn't that good?
No,
Because
you know,
if you have an open floor plan,
right. Yeah.
yeah.
You don't need
Okay.
12 units all over the house. Like a lot of people buy more than one unit. You really don't need that many units if you have that little open plan. This is going to take care of a giant, 2,000 square feet is a huge room. That's the kitchen and a great big living room and a dining room all in one. I mean, that's pretty impressive. All right, Vonabelle, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start on this side of this unit and let's walk through each of the little buttons. So what's that do?
My pleasure. That's the accent light. Now you can use that or not use that. That's that beautiful blue glowing light at the bottom of the unit. But some people don't like that. Some people like an accent light or a night light, but some people like to sleep in a dark room. That'll give you the dark room. You see, that's pretty though. And then next going over is your speeds. Yeah, yeah, and then speeds, low, medium, high, and turbo. Now I burnt toast yesterday morning and I put this in the kitchen and turned it on turbo because I actually got like smoke. I really toasted it. So put it on turbo when you have that stinky room that has maybe the diaper pail in it, the nursery where the dogs like to lay, cigars where grandpa is. You know,
or like
love
broccoli, fried fish, making bacon. Bacon always stinks up a whole house. It's amazing. All right, what's beside that one?
Yeah, and for days, right? And then we have the timer. So you choose that, maybe if you want to run it during the day or night, and then you're off on, then sleep mode. Now sleep mode puts this in the quietest mode, but still runs and cleans the air for you. And the last two, HEPA and prefilter, are your, golden ring the bell, because when those go on, all it means is, hey, have you vacuumed me lately?
Oh, nice.
It doesn't mean panic mode. It doesn't mean get a measuring tape, figure out what size you need, where do you buy it, and then get sticker shock because one like this might be $60, $70, $80.
Right.
It means, hey, have you vacuumed me? And that's what is a changer on this. This is a forever filter or a permanent filter. You simply vacuum it clean, brings it back to its original performance, and you make sure you do that, and it will last the life of the unit, unless you want a new one. Yes, they're available, but this will last you the whole time, so no money pit, Suzanne.
Okay, now the taupe, there you're seeing it. It's gorgeous. This fits beautifully in a corner. It's not, obstructing anything. And again, you've got that huge amount of space that it can clean. That is the most limited right now. So if you are thinking that pretty taupe, the most popular in this area is actually the graphite. We're calling this one graphite. I think I called it granite. This is the graphite. And again, beautiful, just a deep gray color. The white is classic, it's always popular, and then we have black. Now let me tell you the difference between white and black if you're trying to decide. You ever go past a house and they have a white picket fence and you go, oh, what a nice white picket fence. Or you go past a house and they have a black wrought iron fence and you go, oh, what a beautiful home. For me, black becomes invisible. It almost just disappears when you have it in your room. So just think about it that way if you're trying to decide which color. But please remember, the price is fantastic. We're $90 off the retail price. This is worth every last penny. And here's why. The unit itself, if you bought it by itself, is almost $300. So we got a great savings. We have an extended warranty on this. We actually go up to 7 years. Nobody has that warranty except for us here at HSN through LivePure. And that's an additional $40 value. That's why people buy it from us. That's why these are always wildly popular. And most of the time when I'm doing smaller units, we all say it. Hey, get one for your bedroom, get one from here, get one for downstairs. With this one, because it has such a massive capacity, especially if you have a lot of open area, you really only need one. You don't need to have 5 of them all over the house. So this is a great one to pick up. And I'll tell you what, you're gonna notice a difference quickly. And I'll tell you what the craziest thing is, the first time you see that little filter light come on and you open it up, I always say you get this, ooh, ooh moment. It's ugh, because you're gonna see so much thick, hairy stuff on top of this filter. It's pure black right now. It will not be that way. And you'll go, oh my gosh, like it'll shock you. It'll be so thick, it'll be almost like taking up parchment paper. And then when you pull this off and you're gonna vacuum them both out, this is gonna change color, but again, it's gonna retain its effectiveness simply after you vacuum it. You will never spend $80 over and over and over again trying to buy the replacement filters. And I'll tell you what, that's why you wanna get this tonight, because it is a phenomenal value. And the fact you'll never spend another dime on filters makes it worth its weight in absolute gold. We'll show you the value once again. And Vonabelle, let's talk about the value. Can you kind of take this over for me?
So this is an incredible value because you're not only getting the unit, but that extended warranty, that extra year. Now we always give 6 years, which is absolutely incredible. Nobody gives 6 years. if you remember, you usually get a year, 12 months. Well, 6 years is incredible, but then the extra year as a gift has a value of $39.99. So think about that. That's amazing. So you get that. And this is also from LivePure. Now, LivePure does a lot of things really well. They give you USA-based customer service, which means if you have a problem or a question, that phone call will be taken right here in the United States and answered by an American. And people really appreciate that. And then you get that extra year warranty. Then free shipping and handling. So it's a really incredible deal to think about. Okay, I can get an air purifier and I never have to spend another nickel because this is a vacuum clean filter. So if you have an air purifier at home and it's due for a filter and you already checked and it's $40, $50, $60, $70, don't do that. Get this and never have to buy another filter. Now, something